Hello, welcome to Lunch and Learn presented by CodaBears. My name is Bill Golis. I'll be covering today's topic, which is Epicor 10 report maintenance. Going to go over how to export reports and import them into a new environment, how to make minor changes to your SSRS reports, and how to change a report definition in Epicor 10 as well. First off, we're going to talk a little bit about SQL Server Reporting Services, or SSRS, which is the reporting engine which is included and based in Epicor 10. You can see your report server. It will typically be located at your server name and your SQL server name and then reports, and that will bring up your different environments. Here we have the reports folder for this train in 10.2.200. In the reports folder, you'll see here it has all of the base reports. Inside of each of these folders, it would have the top level report and any sub reports. This will be your top level, and then those are the subs. Within the reports folder, you will also find a custom reports folder right here. This is crucial. This is where you want to store all of your altered, modified reports. The reason is that if you do an upgrade to Epicor, it will often reload all of the standard reports because they have changes sometimes, and it will overwrite any changes that you have that aren't stored in the custom reports folder, which is right here. Okay, we're going to work with the purchase order form today, and let's real quick run one, and I want to show you a couple things about running the form and about saving the data set. We're going to purchase order entry, and we're going to run a quick base form to see how it looks and to get a data set for our changes in testing. When you run any report in Epicor, you will notice that there's an option for archive, and what that does is, you'll see here, archive period. It defaults to 0 days, but we're going to put it here for a day. That means that it's going to retain that data set so I can go back and reuse it for 24 hours. So we're at the standard SSRS report. Those are going to be your base forms that are going to be default out of the box. We're going to run that report, see what it looks like, and when it comes up, it's going to give us a report GUID. Okay, here's the standard report. If we look in our system monitor here, the little donut at the bottom, we'll see that we just ran this one here, and if we scroll across to the right, we're going to find this file name, and in here it's going to have report database : and the second part here, that is your GUID. We're going to copy that out. I'm going to drop it onto a notepad just so we don't lose it. And now that I have that, I can run that report from within, while I'm modifying it in SSRS and Report Builder and such. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to copy the report style. And the reason is because within Epicor, you can never change any of their base product, BAQs, reports, etc. And you have to make a copy of any base to make changes to it. From system management and reporting, we're going to go to report style. That's where we're going to see the different report styles available for PO form. Typically, there's going to be a couple that are base. Here you see we have two in this one. One is SSR standard, and one is with logo, which is some kind of a demo. And we're going to do one with logo with our CodaBears logo. So here we have our standard. I've selected it in the left pane. From our actions menu, we're going to copy that style. And notice that it's going to copy from the purchase order form folder to reports, custom reports, PO form. So that's going to create that file, that's a folder structure within the report portal. In the custom reports, it will have this copy of the standard report. We're going to change the name of that for the description to L&L logo so we know what it is, and we're going to save it. Now, if we go to our report portal and the custom reports folder for this particular one, see it's not here now. If we refresh, we should see purchase order form, and there it is. If we open up that folder, we'll see here's the top level report, and here's all of the sub reports associated. For our purposes today, we're just going to work with the top level form. PO form. And if we go to the pull down, you'll notice we have a thing here called Edit in Report Builder. Report Builder is the free tool with SQL Server reporting services. It comes right out of the box with the install typically, if it's installed with that feature. Or you can actually get it from Microsoft's website. If you look for a report builder, just Google it and it will allow you to download it for free. This will open up that particular form within the report builder. This shows the whole structure of the base report. And we're in the design view here. If we select the run view up here on your left, it's going to try to run it, and then it wants that your table GUID that we had. It should be on my clipboard. If I paste it in here, and it's that whole long GUID number that we got, or string I should say, and if I hit view report, it's going to print the same one that we just did. And notice this is for Gecko Steel. So great, we have that ready, and that's good to have because while you're doing your modifications, you can run the report and actually see it. Back to design view. And what we're going to do to this particular report is we're going to add in a logo. So we're going to go to Insert in Report Builder and select an image, and then we can just draw an image box. Here at the head, there happens to be an opening there where it's like waiting for a logo. Once you get to your image, and the image source is important. For today's purposes, we're going to do an embedded image, which means that the image file will be stored inside of the report. That's the easiest thing to do because it pops it right in there. The challenge is if you decide to change your logo or some image later and it's across multiple reports, you'll need to go to each report and modify it separately. If you put it actually into the database or an external file share, you would be able to change just that particular image, and then it would load back into all of your reports. If you had dozens or hundreds, certainly that's an easier way to go. Anyhow, today we're going to do an embedded, so we have to import that file. On the desktop, I have a logo image here that's a JPEG. We're going to bring that in. There it is. Going to say OK. It should pop right in there. There we go. And we're going to go and we're going to see what it looks like. We're going to move it a little bit, maybe scale it a little bit larger. And then once we're there, we can go ahead and run the report. And since we have the GUID already available, we can pop it right in there. And we should see how it was going to look. Okay, that looks a little high. Let's go back to our design and let's move it down a little bit. Let's run it again. Drop our GUID in. It's still on my clipboard. And we'll see what we got here. Okay, that's beautiful. We're going to save that now. And now that's in our custom reports folder saved here. Here's our path. Train, reports, custom reports. Here's that form. Let's just verify. We can go ahead and hit run. It'll come right up. We have our GUID available. We'll paste it in. Just making sure it looks good. And it's saved right. Do we have our logo? Sure do. Excellent. All right, since that's already out here and this has been saved, we can just go and run that right from the system. You don't even need to log out. SSRS is if the report's already deployed and you work on it, it's there. So you want to be careful with that because as soon as you save that, all your users are going to have that report. It makes sense if you're going to be making the alterations you're unsure of to make a copy of the report so that's what's running in the system is in fact doesn't get messed up. We'll go back to our POs here. Let's see if this comes out right. We're going to select a PO. We'll even pick a different one here from global. Okay, we should be able to go to actions now and print. And when we check here, we have a Lunch and Learn logo one. We're going to select that. And we're going to go with print preview. And we'll see how it looks printed from the system. Beautiful. We're happy with that. So we have just added a logo to report, and it is in the custom reports folder, and it is saved, and we're done with that portion. Now, let's say that we did this development. This is in the training environment, that we want to put it into our live environment, and our live environment is a different database, of course, a different environment. So we are going to go out and we're going to take this report and we're going to download it, and then we're going to upload it into the other environment. We'll go back to our report style. Here's our PO form. Here's the one that we want, Lunch and Learn logo. And we're going to go to actions and we're going to say download report. And it's going to say where we want it at. For today's purposes, we're going to choose the desktop. I'm going to say OK, and it's going to show us it copied the whole path, with custom reports and everything all the way down and all of the subs. So we're good there. We're going to close out of this environment, and we should see on our desktop, here's the folder reports, and it goes to custom reports, purchase order form, and then here's all our subs. Beautiful. Now we're going to go into the other environment that's called SAM. In our case here, this is going to be our live or wherever we want to upload it to. And remember that this is set up to go to the custom reports folder. That path doesn't currently exist. So we're going to go to report style here. And we're going to go to PO form and bring it up. We'll see all we have in here is a couple of styles, just like the other one, with logo. And that's one, yep. And this is the base. We're going to copy that so we can create a setup within the custom reports folder, and we have that. We're going to change our name of this to LNL SAM because that's our new environment, and that's to the custom reports folder. We're going to say OK. Now that we have that there, we're going to upload the one that we brought across into this exact path and everything. So we're going to go to Actions, Upload Report, and we're going to select from the desktop. And you don't want to select reports or customs, or want to select right from the top level that we put it in. We're going to say OK. It's uploaded, so that would have overwritten what we had out there already if it worked correctly. We're going to say OK, and we're going to save that. Now we're going to go to our report portal and see what we see here. That's the SAM custom reports. We should see our purchase order form, which we do. We're going to go to our report builder, and I want to see if we see the form that we expect, which should have our logo in there. And sure enough, it does. So now it's brought into the other environment, and the Epicor tool would have synced up the proper data sources. It's going to be set up to the right database and to the right environment. So that looks like it worked the way we expected it. We're going to go now, and we're going to run it from within the application here. And we've saved it here. Looks good. It's got custom reports. We save our style. Now we're in the different environment here. You see we're in SAM, and we're going to go to our material, purchase, GenOps, and PO entry. And we're going to run it from this environment and see if it comes up as we hope with our logo for Coda Bears. Let's grab any approved PO. Now from our print, we should see that Lunch and Learn SAM, which we do, and we're going to run it. And there we have it. So we've learned how to put a logo into a new customer or into a custom report built on the base report, how to take that report from one environment and move it to another. And now we're going to go and we're going to alter a report data definition to add a piece of data into this report that isn't there now. This is done from within the same location from reporting and system management, but from report data definition. First, we're going to go and we're going to create a copy of the PO form, because like anything else, you can't change this one. When this comes up, you'll see it's going to show it's a system report, and so you won't be able to make any changes. From actions, we're going to say duplicate report, which is going to make the new data definition, and we're going to call it PO form 2. And this one we're going to say with vendor ID, because that piece of information is not included in the report data def, and we'll see that when I go in and take a look for it. It's excluded from the report. Now we're in PO form 2. This is currently identical to PO form, And when we look into our we're going to go to PO header. That's where it has the vendor at. So we select that. We go to our exclusions. Now here's a whole bunch excluded. We're going to go down, and I believe vendor ID is going to be excluded. I'm sorry, vendor num is what I'll bring into this. We're going to uncheck the box for exclude column and label because we want to use the label, and we're going to save that. Now this report data definition is different than the other one, and when you run a report, it will now output the vendor number and a label for the vendor number to the data set with this particular PO form 2. So now we're going to go to report style. Once again, we are going to go in and we are going to copy our report style. Okay, and you see this is going to overwrite what's already there, but we're okay with that because all we want to do is we're going to add this one piece to it. So now that particular one is a copy of SAM. We're going to change our data def so we use PO form 2, and then we need to sync the data set. That's going to make that form in SSRS, it will now have, it'll be synchronized with the new PO form 2, and we'll have that additional piece of information. That's done. But this has been overwritten, so and we can now delete that, which we will. We're going to change this one to be the same as it was. So now we have SAM. Okay. And this is with PO form 2, and it's been synced. Now, when I go back here, we are going to refresh, and we're in custom reports PO form here. When we go and to edit report builder here, this should now have in there that additional piece of information. And when we go to the data sets here, and we scroll down, and we're looking for PO header, there's a lot of information here. Now we're trying to find vendor num, and there it is. And it was not there before. And we're just going to slide that in right up next to there's a little open space here. And we're going to select that so we can move it a bit. And we'll also put in the label for it too, because we did bring that in, which is going to be under report labels, vendor num. There it is. We're going to pop that right in there. I think they call it supplier ID or something here, which isn't, we can of course just put in, we can type in a text string here as well. But for our purposes, we're just going to bring in what the database has. And let's see, does that look okay? Let's go ahead and save it, and then we're going to have to run that from our PO here. Let's go to GenOps, purchase order entry, and I'm going to grab any PO that's out there and approved. Let's go A to Z, and when we select actions and print, we should have our L&L SAM. Let's fire it up for a preview, and if everything worked out, we should see our supplier ID and the vendor number in there, and sure enough, there it is, the number, and it's number 1. At 1, that seems odd. Let's make sure something's not wrong here. Let's pick a different PO that's not A to Z Metals. Let's go with Gecko, and let's see what we get here. Actions, print, and we got to select our new report, and when we preview, we should see a different supplier number, the one that is associated with Gecko Steel. Sure enough, and it's 9. So there we have it. That's changing a report data definition, and then syncing the data set and customizing the report. So there you have it. Simple changes in Epicor 10 are quite easy to do if you just follow their instructions and the tools that are in the system. Thank you very much for joining us with Lunch and Learn today.